Hot diggity dog diggity.
Hot
Boom. What
diggity.
you do to me.
Bop.
Bop. Those plosives. Watch those plosives.
Oh.
Hey, you know, I was in New York recently.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and
How was that?
Well, something struck me.
Oh, did it?
It was a taxi. But seriously, this podcast is a labor of love, but man, sometimes love hurts. And I realized today that I should have named my daughter Appendix. That way, only doctors would take her out. Well, that was just stupid. Would you guys save me? Can we roll the music, or do you have something you want to say before we roll
I
the
have
music?
something really stupid to say to help you with that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that is that Kirk said to Scotty, I weighed a rainbow. It turns out it's pretty light.
There's that music.
That's a good pride joke.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I did it for. That's exactly what I did it for.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay. Music. Oh, please, music, help
Music,
save
please.
us.
Please save us. Wow. Well, hello, greetings on yo aseyo. I had to say that correctly. And top of the morning in Moobarkfluff to all the creatures in the Podiverse. This is Barely Furcasting featuring Taebyn. I am Barely Normal. With us today, once again, is Rain Raccoon. Hey, Rain.
Hey.
You have become quite the regular co-host on the show.
Apparently.
I was noticing that too.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I get a raise that I didn't know about?
Do we need to put an
Yes.
Do we need to put an R in there? BFFRT or TR?
Buffer.
Nah, we'll just leave it.
We don't want to buff art. No,
we don't want to
it's
buff art. Nah, we just have to redo all the merchandise, so let's just keep it the way it is.
And now here's the fur whose name is part of the podcast title. You know them, you love them, you cringe at their puns. Taebyn.
Hi. Yes, and cringing I think happens as soon as I start talking. So yay, all you furs out there that are cringing. Yes, my name is Taebyn. I am a pup bark. And we're here.
Once again.
That's what I'll say. Once again.
Once again, in your ears. Yes.
Oh, my cow.
Here we are in your ears. You really should clean out a little more often because there's a lot of wax building up, folks. I can see it as we're in your ears.
I don't know. I can't hold a candle to that.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Well,
the
I don't-
grossest kind of candle.
Could you
That is
imagine
definitely not a
candle?
Yankee candle scent.
Could you imagine Yankee candle scent? Icky ear.
Birdie Potts Yankee candles.
Oh, my
Yes.
cow.
Oh, that's
So,
terrible.
on that note, how are you, Mr. Barely and Mr. Rain, on this fine eve?
Well, since you said my name first, I'll go first. I've been busy. In fact, I was just talking with Rain before you popped on that I thought I had an entire more week to prep for the fireworks show in Seaside, but I just realized that's actually next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is. Look at that.
Right. I was like, yeah. Like, wait a minute. Oh, no.
I don't have much more time.
I don't have much more time at all. I have it all. But it's been okay this week, I guess. I mean, I haven't. There's been no trips to the emergency room. Knock on wood.
That's good.
Yay.
There's been no. We've got a bunch of stuff now with Dad, and things are going fairly decent at this point juncture in the game.
Every
Yes,
first say
great.
yay.
Yay!
Yay. That was very enthusiastic. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
And there was much rejoicing.
And the villagers rejoiced.
That's
Yes.
right. The villagers rejoiced. Rain, how about you? What's been going on with you?
I have been busy as well. I've just been trying to get my DJ stream stuff all set up the way I want it and get things done the way I like it. And apparently now I can take tips on.
Oh, you're a moil now.
Yeah, not those kind of tips, the money kinds.
All right.
I wouldn't mind the other kind of tips, but
A moil. We've had this discussion, Taebyn.
I feel like
Last
we
week.
have had this
Yes.
discussion.
I know. A moil is the Jewish rabbi who does the circumcision.
Yeah,
snip the tip.
They don't
We
get
talked
paid.
about
They just
this.
take tips.
They just take
that's,
tips.
That's right. So, and
I
then
wish
there
they
was
hadn't taken mine.
Then there was that rabbi that would do the circumcision on the elephants. And he didn't get paid, but the tips were huge.
Yeah, that's my joke.
Taebyn, how you been?
Well, recently, pretty confused, but
The
other
last
than
3
that,
Very
minutes.
recently.
the last
Yes.
3 minutes, ever since we started recording. I've been good. I've been running around. The weather's getting nice. It was a little cold a few days ago, as I'm sure you were aware because you were there. But it's been nice. And just a little note to all you furs out there. Finally, I will have some merch soon. Probably within a few weeks. I'm going on vacation soon, so I won't like right away, but in a few weeks I should have some merch on Fourth Wall. I'm thinking, I'm not sure exactly what, but I'll probably have some stickers, maybe some t-shirts, maybe some other things. I'm not sure what. So I'll probably put the link on my Twitter or something, and I'm sure I'll talk about it on the show too when it's finally done. So
No.
I know, what? Me
On the
talk about
show?
something on the show, what?
You never talk. You're always
Never.
quiet.
So quiet.
I
Such
really
a quiet
am.
little pup.
You notice that, especially on that episode a few weeks ago that was titled Taebyn has a lot to say. I had nothing to say. I was quiet the whole time.
No, it was very quiet. It was a nice,
So
relaxing
shout
pod.
out to Ziggy. He had a joke that for me, and I said, well, I'll just say it on the show this week. So here it is. He said he just woke up from a dream about the Roman numerals 5, 4, 1, and 500. It was vivid.
Inconceivable.
Oh,
I like
Oh,
it.
you got
I
that?
like that.
yeah, I got it.
I
Yeah.
didn't get it. He had to explain it to me.
Oh,
So good for you. Okay, great. I was like, I don't.
you're like, what?
I don't
Huh?
get
I don't
what?
get it.
That's exactly what I
Yeah.
would. So anyway, so any further that out there is listening and didn't get it, well, think about it and then write us in and we'll let you know, or some for will, because I didn't get it apparently.
Somebody will let us know.
Also from Thunderclaws in the Furlandia chat, he said, if you put 2 quarters under your pillow, could you call them your sleeping quarters? Which I thought was kind of cute and good, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
shout out
I-
to Thunderclaws and Ziggy.
Yeah, Thunderclaws.
Thunderclaws.
Thunderclaws. I like that name. I like that name.
That is.
Thunderclaws. Sounds something dangerous in the bedroom, though. That could be. That
Yeah.
could be not good.
Well,
I don't.
it reminds me of that movie with Melissa McCarthy, the Thunder Force movie.
Oh, Thunder. I thought it was Thunder
Yeah.
Thighs, but that would be a different movie with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So on that note, I guess, barely, I
Yes.
would like to say, set you up for a thing and see if you get the right answer in the end.
I'm cringing, but okay.
Okay. So when I say my line, you say no, because with ice cream, I know how I am.
Okay.
Okay. You've got to say just like that. So let's rehearse.
Okay.
So I'm going to say something and then you'll say,
No, because with ice cream, I know how I am.
great. Okay. So let's try. Let's see how it goes. And then we'll see if you get the right answer. So would you like some ice cream?
No, because with ice cream, I know how I am.
Oh, yeah? How are you? And now what's the right answer?
I'm fine.
You got the right answer.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, good. I came up with that today and I thought I'd try it and it worked out great.
Most of the boys would say I'm vanilla, but you know,
Aw,
yeah.
we can't all be bunny tracks.
No, we can't. Or moose tracks,
Yeah.
and Taebyn has a confused look on his head. His head is tilted like. So there's a brand of ice cream called Blue Bunny, and they have a mixture called Bunny Tracks, which is a takeoff on Moose Tracks, which is Denali brand, I think, or
Yeah, I can't remember,
Something like
but
that, yeah.
it's delicious. It's my mom's favorite ice cream. So
delicious. Taebyn, what's your favorite ice cream? Since we're talking about ice cream,
I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
really? I mean, if you had to choose right now, I'm going to get you some ice cream. What flavor do you want?
Either vanilla or chocolate.
Okay, there you go.
mine's
Okay.
Tillamook Marionberry.
Ooh, like the squirrel thing. Okay, I want the vanilla chocolate swirl thing.
The vanilla chocolate swirl. Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Okay.
they swirl together. Okay.
You swirl together. Yeah, okay, so I'm waiting. I mean, I'll be excited
Do you want
when
some
you bring it to
sprinkles
me.
on that too?
I want some pretty rainbow sprinkles.
Okay, there we go.
I like where this is going. This is
Okay.
exciting. I'm really excited.
It might be a little melted before we get it to you. Because
my favorite is the caramel core from Ben and Jerry's, which is like a caramel flavored ice cream, and they've got a whole core right down the center of just caramel syrup right in the center. It's
Another
so
good
delicious.
one is
That sounds
Ben and
very
Jerry's
caramelly.
Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream,
Ooh, that's good
because
too,
it's
yes.
got chocolate cones crushed up in there
Mhm.
with caramel swirl and vanilla ice cream. It's very good.
Welcome to Ice Cream Chat.
Yeah, right.
Write in and tell us what your favorite flavor of ice cream is, and if you've ever gone to Salt and Straw in Portland, Oregon, and tell us what your favorite weird flavor of ice cream is.
So there is no more barely furcasting. We now have barely ice creaming.
Right.
Barely screaming.
Barely screaming.
Barely
yes.
screaming. There you go.
I'm streaming and screaming. Okay, let's get to the past today. Taebyn, have you... Why, thank you for that musical interlude. Taebyn, do you have a past today? I know you do, because you said last week you had a whole bunch that you still wanted to go over to this week.
Oh, did I?
Yo, yes.
I need to go back to my notes. Okay, so
Okay, well, what do you have that you didn't want to talk about?
well, okay, so for next, I need to write myself a note for next time. So in several weeks.
In several weeks when you're back on the show, yes.
For
And he'll
next
lose the note
time
before then.
Which, by the way, listeners, Taebyn will be gone for the next 2 weeks as he is going on vacation, and then we're going on vacation, but we will not miss an episode, even though he's gone. So I guess it really doesn't matter.
So there you go.
There you go. All right.
So
It will be a surprise.
for this time, for next time, so I'm going to write a note for next time had passed for this time. Look into that. Okay.
Which means I'm going to get a telegram message when he goes back from vacation saying, what was I talking about?
What was I even-
what
what
was
is
I
this?
meaning?
What's this note I have? The only past today I do have is catabolism every first almost tired fun. We blame Bark Ruffalo from the Furlandia chat. Okay, Bark. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Bark, when I see you, I'm going to smack you. Just so you know.
Because look what you started.
Right. Okay, well, let's move along then.
And you're waiting for me to say a thing.
I am waiting for you to say a thing.
Because I have some useless information. More
Nice.
like, I don't know what the correct title of this is, so I'll just say, I have a question to both of you, and that question is, why don't people like Elon Musk?
I don't have enough time.
Because he's a moron.
Yeah, basically.
He's a moron with money, and think of it like this, Taebyn. If you found yourself holding onto billions of dollars and you just decided, I'm going to buy a company and run it, how would that company look? Besides the fact that you would have a lot of squirrels and a lot of leaves to chase.
Oh, I don't think there would be really anything else than that, actually.
So that's pretty much, I mean, he's a billionaire with too much time on his hand and too much money at his disposal.
Yes.
Oh.
Who has done exactly what Thomas Edison did to Nikola Tesla. Basically just steal everything, including Tesla's name for his company. He's just not a very smart guy. He's a businessman, and that's all he is. He is just not the smartest cookie in the bag.
It sounds similar to, I've heard of people that have like so much money, they like get remote controls for their cupboards in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
mean,
want to walk over. Okay.
Right. It's like, okay. And unless you have a robot to take the stuff out of the cupboards, you still have to get up and get the things out of the
you
cupboards,
do.
even though you
Yeah.
open them up remotely. It's like, okay.
It's
No, I
just
mean,
like
I'm not. I'm not against automation. My house is
Yeah, me either.
about 90% automated. I mean, my door unlocks for me when I walk up to it. It locks when I leave. Yep. I've got cameras around the house. My lights come on and turn off automatically at certain times during the day. My air conditioning system is all automated. My sprinkling system is automated. So I like automation. But, do I want my refrigerator to order milk for me? No.
No, probably not.
No. But I mean, they have refrigerators out there that do that. As you put things into the refrigerator, it scans the barcode and it keeps a tab of what you've got in the fridge.
Oh, really?
And the shelves actually weigh stuff so that it knows, that milk is getting empty. And then it'll have a little touch screen on the outside that says order more milk. Bink, 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 bink. And you can.
That is way too smart for me. I had no idea they had those things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of fun to watch, but I think I would just get more groceries than I needed. Maybe I didn't want another replacement gallon of milk because I'm going on vacation.
Or because you're lactose intolerant.
What about the poor cow? Or something, I don't know.
That's right. That's right. The cow is going to have extra milk in its udder if you don't drink this.
Exactly. And it's all
Poor
your
cow.
fault. So, well, okay. That's my useless information that now I know.
Well, it wasn't so much information as a question.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to call it, so I just called it that. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
How about useless question?
A useless question. But now you're educated.
I am. So it's not a useless question anymore.
It's not anymore.
Look at all this fun roundabout that we've done. This is exciting.
Absolutely. I'm going to step away for a moment while you two do obscure movie quotes.
Oh, my cow.
Okay. Well, now you can't play, though, so okay.
Okay, if you want to wait, I have to pee. If you don't want to wait, just go ahead and go.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the last one that we did anyways. So then I'll do the new quotes when you get back.
Okay.
I just wanted to see how long we could keep him.
Yes. See if we can start making him dancing around and stuff.
Right. So season 4, episode 4 was the last time we had movie quotes from me, and we did 3 animated movie quotes. And the 3 movies were, number 1, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, and how did that quote go?
That was the one where you could have taken your hand out anytime, and he says, "No, only when it was funny."
Oh, that's right.
And the other one was from Transformers the movie.
Oh, which one was that?
The 1986 animated movie.
How did the quote go?
Oh, I have forgotten now.
I do not remember that line from the movie. I forgot.
But yeah, it was definitely it was definitely a good quote. And the third one was Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh,
the animated movie that came out a while back with all the really uncanny valley looking characters in it. There was CGI animated. It was cool, but also a little disturbing.
Oh, that would be why I don't know I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Okay.
So what were your movie quotes for this week?
I don't have any for this week because Barely put in the notes that it was, like he said, only rain.
Oh, okay.
I was going to prepare some, but you know how difficult mine are and stuff.
Oh,
so
Barely's back anyway, so we can do the new one. Yeah, yours are too hard for everybody. Nobody really ever says,
But I guess mine for this week are, if you first didn't hear last week, I did some last week. Well, I said that what they were last week. So if you go back 2 weeks ago, you can hear them. And then in last week's, you can hear the answers. So that's mine for this week.
Okay. So this week I decided I'm going to go for some of my childhood favorite action comedies.
Just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few years ago.
Because you're that young.
I'm super young.
Yeah.
So let's see if you guys can guess any of them. And if you get the answers right, DM me on Telegram, and I will mention your name on the next OMQ. So here we go. And
make sure you let us know what is OMQ.
Oh, that's obscure movie quotes.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, got it.
It's like Oh My Cow, OMC. So we're doing OMQ. We discussed this before, Taebyn.
We did.
Oh My Quebec.
Oh My Quebec.
Exactly.
So, all right. we're going to start off with the first one. Here is the first one. It's a little bit long.
What sort of supreme being created such riffraff? Is it not the workings of a complete incompetent?
But he created you, evil one.
What did you say?
Well, he created you, so he can't be totally...
Never talk to me like that again. No one created me. I am evil. Evil existed long before good. I made myself. I cannot be unmade. I am all-powerful.
But why, if that's the case, are you unable to escape from this fortress?
It's a good question. Why have I let the supreme being keep me here in the fortress of ultimate darkness?
Because you...
No, shut up. I'm speaking rhetorically. Oh, of course.
That was the first one. It looked like Barely might have an idea.
Knows, obviously, barely knows. On the other hand, this pup has no idea. It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, you'll feel
probably
kind of silly when you find out what it is next.
Yeah, I
next time.
feel that
So.
that's yeah. Okay.
All right, here's the next one. The next ones aren't as long.
Oh, good.
Chocolate coating makes it go down easier, but you have to wait 15 minutes for full potency. And you shouldn't go in swimming after for at least what?
An hour.
Yeah, an
A
hour.
good hour.
Barely knows that one
Barely
too. I
knows
could
that
tell
one
from
too.
the
You're
smile.
way too smart, Barely. How do you get so smart? Because I have no idea.
I love these movies. I've watched them repeatedly.
Me too.
Well, I would do it. That would do it.
These were some of my childhood favorites. And the last one for this week's OMQ.
Good morrow, Abbott.
Good morrow.
Welcome, Abbott.
Morrow.
Hello, Abbott.
Good morrow.
Hey, Abbott.
I hate that guy.
That one I
sounds
don't
familiar.
know.
I don't know
That
either,
one
but
I
it sounds
don't
familiar.
That one should be very familiar, and it will make you guys cringe when you figure out which movie it is. Because you know it. I'm sure both of you know it.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think I have an idea.
All right.
So
Well,
all you first write in and let us know what you
Yes.
think those quotes are from, and you'll find out in what, 2 weeks?
yeah.
No,
no,
next
not
week.
2
Or no,
weeks.
next week. I'm sorry.
Next
Yeah,
week.
next week.
Next week.
You'll find out next week.
Which means, Taebyn, you're going to have to listen to next week's episode to find
Yeah.
out the
Find out.
answers. Yeah.
Oh my cow!
All right. Well, then let's move along to That's Just Stupid or Odd.
Like me?
Wow. Okay. All right. Our first.
All you furs out there, if you have an idea how Rain and Barely can like put up with me at all, write us in and let us know, because I would like to know the answer to this.
I would too.
Xanax. I take 3 before I start the podcast.
Three.
It's just like 3 Xanax and a whiskey. That's what it
Three
does.
of the
it right
large
there.
ones, right? Horse Xanax.
we gotta
Hort Xanax. Yep.
do the show with Taebyn again. Hold on, I gotta get my Xanax before we start.
Yay. All right, so That's Just Stupid or Odd. Our first story is about climate change, and there is a problem up in Alaska with the Arctic ground squirrels. So
or squirrelies.
I know, with global warming, so they hibernate during the winter, just like little tiny bears. They hibernate.
They're so
Okay.
cute. Oh, so cute.
And normally, in a regular cycle, the males wake up first, and then the females sleep for another month.
Oh,
But
those females.
unfortunately, the females are waking up early from a long winter hibernation, and they're desperate to party. But they're finding that the drowsy males aren't quite ready for date nights. The males, the problem with that is when they hibernate, well, their little sexual organs shrivel up. And they have to wake up, rehydrate, and it takes a couple of weeks for them to become unshriveled and become useful. But these females are like
I don't-
hopping these poor little male squirrels before they're unshriveled, and they're not getting priggers.
Me too, squirrel movement.
Yes. So now scientists are worried that the critters might not survive. They might go extinct because of global warming, because of the cycle that's been mixed up.
Couldn't we just pop the female squirrels into the refrigerator for a little while?
Probably. Just like gather them up, put them in the refrigerator. Kind of like that gathering up the plufferings to throw them off the cliff. Remember that story?
We'll just throw them in.
I remember. Okay,
refrigerator.
I was totally confused about what was happening, but now you explained the pluffering. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh. And since it's still Pride Month, I want to tell this story about Stockholm, Sweden. The vice mayor
I love Stockholm.
fights far-right intolerance, and he says that everyone should be free to express themselves, says Jönsson, also known as Robin Backman. He's the deputy mayor for Stockholm, and he donned red lipstick and a bouffant hair as he glammed up in drag for a children's story hour as part of a campaign against intolerance and populism.
That's pretty cool.
And
I like that.
He looks really good in drag.
He does. He looks like a doll, though. I mean, he looks like a Barbie doll.
Like a Barbie, yeah.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
I thought that picture was like just some Katharine Hepburn or something.
Nope. That's the deputy mayor. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
He says he's using himself as a kind of canvas for the drag artist to be able to say that we think everyone should be free to express themselves. Some political parties have tried to restrict the freedoms of others, and especially drag queens. As we all know, we've seen this in the news. With this stance, I hope that more will be able to say, okay, now it's enough. Sweden should be a free country.
Yay.
Now, of course, he's not been embraced with open arms by everybody, and there's been a lot of pushback against this. And in fact, if you read the article, you will see all of the comments underneath it from all of the intolerant people. And so, but I just thought it was really
They sure
good
like to
because
comment.
they do like to comment. I mean, I think that's all that intolerant people do is sit on the web all day long and make comments.
Oh, yeah.
Uninformed comments about things. It's kind of like, I don't like oranges for breakfast. Okay, well, what about bananas? Don't you like bananas? Remember that meme?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, it's like, I didn't say anything about that. I just said I don't like oranges. That's not the big issue. Yeah, it's like, what about kiwi fruit? You don't like kiwi fruit? What are you going against peach?
No. Free speech.
I blame Tucker Carlson.
Yes. We should blame him for everything.
Yes.
But then he was just used it to get ratings. So
yeah, well,
maybe he and Elon Musk should get
Yeah.
together and have a date night or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow, that would be a.
But yeah, hopefully Fox's lawsuit against him for his Twitter show will stop that for a while.
Okay,
So, yeah,
then.
they're suing him because he's in breach of contract because he has a non-compete clause until 2025.
Well,
And he started this show after he got let go. And
But-
yeah,
he doesn't care.
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't care.
He cares
Yeah.
about the gypsies.
Gypsies?
Remember the gypsies?
Gypsies.
What about
Gypsies
the
trans-
Tramps
about
and Thieves?
gypsies.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, with the Tramps and Thieves, what about those? Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Cher.
my
Well, anyway, that's
cow.
very cool about Sweden. Now, Rain, I thought didn't you say at one point that Sweden is like very, very, very gay friendly and very open?
Very gay friendly. In fact, I was in Stockholm about 4 or 5 months ago. Or no, geez, it's been longer than that now. About 8 months ago.
Did you come
Uh-huh.
home with a syndrome?
I did not come home with the syndrome, but it's a very, very gay friendly city.
Mhm.
I met a lot of really nice people there, and nobody batted an eye when they found out I was gay.
Hmm.
It was just a non thing.
non-starter.
Nobody was. Yeah,
Non
nobody was.
sequitur?
Yeah, nobody was surprised. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're gay." They were just all like, "Oh, okay."
That was my movie quote.
Yeah.
Oh,
Non
non sequitur.
Non sequitur. Non sequitur. No, no, no.
Exterminate.
Okay, he's a
Non
Dalek now.
sequitur. Okay, now we got it. Now
He's a Dalek now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. A pup Dalek.
All right. Shall we end this and move on to what we've been consuming media wise?
an ice cream.
And ice cream.
And
Did
yes.
you get your ice cream? I sent it by DoorDash.
Oh,
It should
no,
be there
it's
by
not,
now.
It's not quite here. No,
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
still gotta wait.
All right. DoorDash, sending you food and groceries 24/7. DoorDash, if you hear this.
The village of the people, where you can go, all
dress as a cowboy, an Indian,
yes.
a construction
cop,
worker, or a policeman.
Yeah.
It's time to go to the YMCA. Okay.
Yes.
Hi. Yes.
Hi. So, media.
They're stupid. I'm stupid. Oh my cow. Okay.
Say your words. Media.
Oh yeah. I got distracted. Thank you
There
for
we go.
reminding
All
me.
right.
There we go.
So, I'm going to start. I did 2 movie nights last week with my movie buddy. We watched 3 movies over 2 nights because one was really, really long, and we both had to get up early the next morning. Anyway, so we watched A Man Called Otto with Tom Hanks.
You ought to watch it.
We ought to watch it. And we also watched Mile 22 and Extraction. Now, Otto was a cute, feel-good movie. Tom Hanks plays a lovable curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon!
He is a curmudgeon who wants to join his wife in the afterlife, but never quite gets to do so, and because of the neighbors. And one of the funniest scenes was he bought 3 feet of rope. Or no, he bought 4 feet of rope.
Mm-hmm.
And they only sold it by the yard, so they tried to charge him for 2 yards of rope. And he's like, I'm not paying for an extra 2 feet of rope. I only bought 5 feet of rope. I do not need 6 feet of rope. Like, well, would you like to get another foot of rope? It's like, no. So I thought that was one of the cutest little things. But it was a cute little feel-good movie. He learns how to be a friend again. And in the end, there's a sweet lesson to learn. And then
Nice.
Yep. And then Mile 22 and Extraction are both action movies, and they keep you entertained. There's lots and lots and lots of actions. One of them's got the actor from Thor, Chris Hemsworth, in it.
Oh.
And
It's worth hemming your pants with Chris.
It is, or unhemming your pants. And but you see a lot of his body parts in the movie. So if you're into that, it's a good movie to watch for the Chris Hemsworth body parts.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I can't for the life of me remember the actors in the other movie. So there you go.
There you go.
But it was action. I might have been 3 or 4 whiskeys and a couple of gummies in by the time we watched that second movie. Taebyn? Hi. How have you been watching things?
How have I been watching
Yes,
things?
how have you been watching them?
With
With your
his
eyes, I
eyes.
hope.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's how I've been watching.
It makes more sense than with his toes.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
In your eyes.
Oh, my left ear was very excited to watch the. Yeah. No. So I've been watching South Park for lunch.
Wait.
Oh.
Did your left ear watch My Left Foot? That's a movie. My Left Foot is a movie. Yeah.
Then no.
Or did your left ear watch a documentary about Van Gogh?
Oh, because the ear. I heard about that.
Because he only had one left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh.
I only have one left ear as well.
So I have to. That's true. We only have one left ear. So a quick story before I get to you, Taebyn. My sister went to New York City, and this is not a joke. And she went to the Van Gogh Museum, and she bought a pendant. And when she said, "I bought a pendant at the Van Gogh Museum," I said, "Is it an ear?" So she said, "No, it's not." What?
That would be a good pendant, though, to sell there.
Yes, it would. Anyway, Taebyn, what have you been watching, and how have you been watching it?
Well, my eyes have watched the South Park for Lunchies, of course. I started to watch because you talked about last week What We Do in the Shadows, which sounded good and fun. So I actually started watching it, but then I got distracted and watched South Park instead. So I've only watched about 30 seconds of What We Do in the Shadows, but I'm looking forward to watching more. We'll see if I get distracted again. We've continued watching the Mindy Project season 2. It's a really good show still. And you also talked about last week Fubar with Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've only seen 2 episodes, but we really like it. It's really good, just like you said.
Yeah.
The cuckold scene was pretty. We died laughing. That was.
I don't think you're using that word right.
You keep using the word.
I
don't think it means what you think it means.
It was funny. And in the furries in the news segment, I will talk about an upcoming furry movie that you've already talked about on a previous show, but I'll talk about again.
Okie dokie.
And what I've been playing, Monkeys Go Pop, I've been playing Bloon 6, of course. I like this strategy I've been using recently. I forget if I talked about it last week. It uses the hero Sada, because she's like really fast with double sword blades and stuff. And there's this really good strategy out there that I've been using, really liking. It uses Sada as the hero, and it's basically a Sada wizard. So you get a bunch of wizards out, and wizard monkeys, and it's a really good. It's been able to take me without having, what's been making sense to me. Like I haven't had to look back at my notes, but I've been able to get to like round 99 with this strategy with pretty much no problem. 99, depending on the map, I've been having a little bit of trouble. I might have to go to the Googler and find out how the best way to use this strategy to beat round 99. But it's a pretty, actually the 90s were a great time for like music and stuff. But also the 90 rounds in Bloons those are hard. That's a hard decade, let me tell you. So anyway, I've been doing that. Been playing Beat Saber. Lots of good stuff there. I tried a few other VR games. So I found they have an Indiana Jones-esque game called Eye of the Temple, which is like Indiana Jones stuff. Like you're walking around high up on little rolly thingies and have to dodge darts and all this stuff. And it's like, I have not downloaded it because it looks too scary and realistic for this pup, but it's really cool. So you first test it out and let me know what you think, because I'm not going to do it, obviously. I'm thinking of getting, so Barely, you might or might not remember, we talked to, in the future, in a few weeks, when we talk to Pepper Coyote on the show, we will have talked about the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game. And I'm thinking of buying it because like every fur in the universe is playing this game.
Quite popular.
It's quite fluffular indeed. So I'm thinking of getting it. And taking it on vacation with me and everything, but it's $70, so I have to look into it more and find out.
It's a little pricey.
It is a little pricey.
$70 for a game, for a mobile game?
It's on
for
Nintendo
Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the Switch. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is one of the more expensive Switch games.
It is.
Probably
so if you
the
want to
most
switch
expensive.
to it, you got to pay a lot of money.
Well, I guess I won't be playing it because I don't own a Switch.
Oh, well, yeah, you kind of have to. There you go.
My husband owns a Switch. I think he has two.
Oh, does he?
But, you know.
I think you've talked about that on the show, how he has two Switches. Like, what? Anyway.
Just in case one breaks, I guess. I don't know.
You got to have a spare.
So we'll see. I only have a few days to figure out if I'm going to buy it or not. So we'll see. When I get back on the show again, we'll see if I talk about playing Tears of the Kingdom. And all you've heard is write us in and let us know what you think about the game. And if this pup right here should get the game. And I guess that ends my media for the week. And how about you, Rain? What's been going on with you media-wise?
Oh, media-wise, I've just been watching YouTube, doing like I said, doing some research and trying to get my streaming stuff up to the standards I want it at. And so,
nice.
Yeah, that's about all I've been doing.
This stuff.
Yeah.
Have you encountered anything having to do with Space Moobarb Pie?
No Space Moobarb Pie. I have looked all over for it. Every store is sold out.
Every store is sold out. Moobarb, I mean, the cows really like it. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, it's Moobarb.
It's Moobarb.
Why wouldn't they?
Have you tried Trader Joe's?
No, we don't have one here.
We have a Trader Joe's here in Salem.
Do we have one here in Salem? Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
It's in South Salem.
Oh, okay. I never go south.
Yeah. There's things out there. There's stores and stuff out south.
Yeah, I just never remember that there's South Salem.
I never remember.
I always
that part
just
of my
like
town
I always
existed.
stay in my little corner of Salem, and I don't venture out very far
out.
into the rest of the city.
Awesome.
guys, what do you say we head over to the Transformation Station lab and do an experiment?
Oh my.
Okay.
I'm all out of stupid sauce, so I think we're just going to go old school today and just do a random inanimate object. So it's a nice day, so let's take a stroll.
All right, then.
Let's take a stroll and not give it back.
Oh, no.
Yes. Well, that's mean.
I know. No, let's give it back.
That's kind of stealing. Yeah. You can borrow, but don't steal.
Oh, wow, there's birds outside here.
Can you copper?
Yeah.
And, oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that over there. There's a squirrel. It's not an Alaskan ground squirrel. We know that.
No, they're in
They're
danger.
in danger. It's too far away.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let me unlock the door here.
Okay.
Come on in, guys.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's get the lights and, of course, the sound effects. Okie dokie. So, Taebyn, if you will take your place on the X,
I should.
We will.
You would think I would know how to do this by now. So okay.
You would think.
I
I mean,
will
I
try,
simplified it as much as possible.
But
you
I
know,
am a pup in this
forgetful
little
pup.
puppy brain.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Puppy
so
Fluff.
here I am. Okay, I'm here on the X.
Okie dokie. Let me get these buttons pressed and get it powered up.
Rain, remember when we talked about Marxism?
Marxism. Oh, yes, yes. When we did the Marx Brothers thing.
Yes. And now
Yes.
I don't know what, because I'm standing on the X, so that reminded me of that for whatever reason.
Okay,
It's not
yes,
really important.
yeah. X marks the spot.
X marks the fluff.
We are warmed up. All the settings are turned on.
On.
And I'm going to go in 3,
Well,
2, 1.
Oh,
Ah,
Oh my.
wow.
wow.
Oh my, this is an interesting feeling.
Ugh. Okay.
I think you're going to be very pleased with what we've turned you into today.
Oh, is that
Yes,
why it
you're-
feels like this?
You're Rubik's Cube.
That's why I feel so great.
Yeah.
Yes.
this. I'm
But it's a
liking
Rubik's
this.
Cube in your colors.
I was just gonna
Gray,
ask,
white,
are my colors
teal.
there?
It's just really, it's a beautiful Rubik's Cube.
Great.
Are there
White.
different shades of purple?
Yeah.
Yes, different shades of purple. Yes.
I love this. I love this. Ooh, this gives me an idea for Taebyn merch, actually. So maybe I'll have to
A little
I like
Taebyn
that idea.
cube.
This
If we
was
sell
very-
you though, we can't turn you back into a
I know.
pup.
We can't just sell one of you.
Oh.
You're gonna have to order a whole
Yeah.
bunch.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
I mean, we could get a lot of money for it.
I know that $20 will
The
go a
only
long
sentient
way.
Rubik's
Yeah.
Cube. Yeah,
that
$20.
5 cents.
I was thinking of going 15, but
Okay.
what does it feel like to be a Rubik's Cube?
Well, it feels very spinny and turny.
Spinny and turny. Yeah.
And it feels like I'm just all scrambled up.
Okay.
Are you
I'm
do you feel like loose or do you feel like a brand new Rubik's Cube?
I feel like I've been used, but it's a good kind of used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick him up and mix him up some more.
Yeah, mix them
okay.
up some.
Oh, that's
Don't make him dizzy. He might get sick.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that's
All right.
That's an interesting feeling of dizzy / tickle / Woo, that was actually quite an interesting feeling. I like
I wonder, can you solve yourself?
Ooh, good question. Let me see. Okay, let me try. I can go. Bop.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I-
it's
and
moving.
Then I'm going that way
Oh, it's-
and that.
Oh,
ooh,
he's
and
moving.
That. Oh, and I know what to do now. I go that, and that. Did I do it?
yeah, mostly you've got
Mostly?
one spot in the center
Oh, there is.
of this face that's not
Okay, let me
the
try
same.
and do that.
That always happens to me.
Yeah.
Oh, better.
There it is.
There you go.
Look at that.
Got it.
Hey,
He's a solved
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube now. Awesome.
I know
I
how
mean,
to do
you
things.
didn't do it in the 3.2 seconds or whatever the new world
The
record
next
is,
part
but
did no.
Yeah.
but still, I don't think there are any other self-solving.
That's
Rubik's
true.
Cubes.
A
Yeah.
self-solving
So-
Rubik's Cube. There's a market for you.
Yeah. I wish I'd had one of those.
Like, I can't solve it.
That-
You put it down and it just kind of.
Yeah.
Like, and there it is.
There it
and there it is.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Huh.
So
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
and we didn't
That's
even have
fun,
to
that's
take
fun.
them apart to solve it.
No.
That's how I solved all
Didn't
mine.
have to remove any of my fluff.
And the
put it
stickers.
back on.
That's right. A fluff
Yeah.
by any other name
right.
is still a Rubik's
A
Cube.
fluff by any other name is still a Taebyn cube.
A
That's
Taebyn
right.
cube, not a cube, not a
A
Rubik's
Taebyn
cube.
No, it's a Taebyn
Taebyn's
cube. It's a new-
cube.
It's a new market we have. Here.
Ooh.
Cool.
Market.
Yes.
Is it a market of choice?
All right.
It is definitely
A market of choice. Again, market of choice. If you're listening, give us some money.
We just promoted you.
We'll make some Taebyn Rubik's Cubes somehow.
All right.
I wonder, can you make any like nice patterns out of me?
Oh, well, let me see.
know.
Let me pick
Like
you
a
up and
checkerboard?
scramble you a little bit.
Oh.
Checker, pop.
Oh, all right.
Oh. Well,
Is that a thing?
it looks-
Am I a
it's
thing?
kind of a thing.
It's got a little X type thing with an extra little.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's an extra cube sticking out. That must be the tail.
That's my
That's
tail.
his
Yeah,
tail.
I was
Oh,
gonna ask
yeah.
if I have a tail. So
He's
okay.
excited. He's wagging
He's
his
wagging
tail.
his tail.
I
That,
see what's going
that,
on.
oh, wow. Okay. No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Wait a minute.
We should probably turn
We
him
should probably
back.
turn him back because he's sprouting extra parts on it, and all of a sudden,
I know.
Yeah.
he's
I'm
going to
getting,
be
like, way too excited.
he's going to be a
It's
Taebyn tetrahedron before too
Yeah.
long. We've been better.
All right.
Change
well,
it back. Put him on the X.
Let's change him back. I'm gonna put you on the X here, Taebyn, and we're warming up. And 3, 2, 1.
Bark, 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 bark. Ooh, bark, bark. Ooh, I feel different. I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah.
You're back.
Ish.
Your color.
Ish. Uh-oh. Is there a
Your
difference?
colors are a little messed up, and your
Oh,
back is
that makes sense.
actually on your front.
Uh-oh. We.
I got a little scrambled
think
in the
you're
transformation.
A
I say.
little scrambled, yeah. Maybe we should have solved you before we retransformed you.
Or
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
probably what did it.
probably the
Okay,
reason
okay.
why.
Well,
okay.
okay. Well, it's not too bad, I guess.
Here,
Is there an
take
ointment
this
for
book on
this?
solving Rubik's Cubes.
Okay, there
and
you go,
if
yeah.
you read this tonight, everything should go back to normal
Because
eventually.
I don't know how to solve myself anymore.
When you wake
so,
up,
yeah.
you should be
No.
back to.
You should be back to normal
Back to
eventually.
Well,
yeah.
normal
Okay,
is a very general term.
Well,
yeah.
In my
You should be back
let's
you should be
rephrase
back
that.
to Taebyn.
Okay, there you go.
Taebyn.
I mean-
all right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It is kind of cool though having your tail on your front. I'm guessing
This is weird. I'm not used to looking down and there's my tail wagging
it's
in my
much
face.
easier to
It's-
catch it now.
It is. Like, oh, there it is. I'm going to get so many nasty letters from Tail after this. Sorry,
Oh, my
Tail,
goodness.
I have to say.
Sorry,
it.
Tail.
But,
All right.
Alrighty.
okay.
Well, Taebyn, shall we get back to the studio and finish up? Rain, I noticed there's no leprechauns running around. Did you fire them all?
No, I forgot to feed and water them.
Oh no.
Oh
I'm,
no.
I'm a bad leprechaun owner.
Oh no.
Poor leprechaun.
Well,
Yeah.
are they all like dried out? Do they taste minty if you make a tea out of them?
They do.
Leper tea?
do.
No, not leper. No, not
Leper tea.
leper tea. Oh no.
No, leper tea is different.
Totally
That's a
different.
totally
Things fall
different
off.
thing. That's a totally different thing. I lost on leprety, baby.
Oh.
Weird Al's gonna sue
All right,
us.
let's
Let's
head on out.
Stop.
Let's walk on back to the studio.
Oh my
Let's
cow.
go. It's boring around here now.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's almost like Elon Musk joined us or something.
Everybody left.
Boring company.
Speaking of which,
Elon Musk
yes,
show.
my friend, I don't think I'll mention her name. I don't know if she wants to be mentioned on the show or not, but you both know her actually. Both have seen her at con.
Yes.
She told me this just today. It's not a joke. This really happened. She got blocked on Twitter. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. And actually, let me make sure I have the, just a second.
Okay.
Let me make sure I have the right names here.
Okay.
Let me find it. Hopefully by the time we
okay.
get back to the studio, I'll have found.
Have this figured out.
Why can't I?
All right. Well, we're back in the studio. So, I see here on my desk is a stack of papers for furries in the news. It's the...
I'm waiting for him to pass out.
I say the news. Bark.
Had this been an actual emergency,
Yes. The tone you would have heard would have been
And if you're actually listening to this podcast, it was apparently an emergency. So.
that's right.
But we
So
can't
what's-
say that though because we'll get fined by the FCC.
What was that?
Apparently,
What
you're
was
not
that?
allowed to use that tone for anything but real emergencies.
Right. What is that? What is that joke? If this had been an actual emergency, this is what you would have heard. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Exactly.
That's right. That's true. That is very true.
Right.
Oh my.
So-
You've got weasels on your face.
Taebyn,
Hi.
I've got what? I've got weasels on my face.
Got weasels on your face. It's from
Okay.
Albuquerque.
Oh, all right.
Another Weird Al song.
Taebyn.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
You promised us that you were going to talk about something in furries in the news.
I did. I mentioned before, and I'm going to do that now. Hi.
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 So,
Hi.
indeed, I'm pretty sure you've talked about this before, but this is an update, basically. And for any furries that didn't hear us talk about it or don't know about it, here's
Update.
our chance to hear about it. So, there's this movie called Papa Bear. It's an indie furry movie, and you talked about it on the show before, and I thought it was a really cool idea and everything. And it's not out yet, but so here's an update. So they were doing a crowd. It's an indie movie, right? It's not like this big company or anything. So they were doing a crowd fund campaign to try and raise money for it. And the deadline was actually June 16th. So it's done just a little minute ago. But I'll tell you at the end of what I'm going to say about the show, tell you how it did.
Okay.
So
Please tell
Papa
us.
Bear, here is what the movie is about anyway. If you like making friends, laugh, and or wasting company time, and have been on the net for 10 to 15 years, then you probably know about The Onion, College Humor, Funny or Die, and Cracked. At one point, it was the world's most visited comedy site. What those were. Papa Bear is a movie in development from the heads of Cracked, the video department, at its peak. It's about a furry in the family. And at its climax, the review says, will be filmed at a furry convention. And actually, I found out possibly Anthrocon this year in a few weeks, though it has not been confirmed, so that'll be seen. But they're going to have a scene from a furry convention. The movie, Papa Bear, promises to be dramatic, funny, daring, and LGBT positive and full of heart. And by the way, this review comes from our very own Patcho Fur from Dog Patch Press. And so Patcho Fur says, when I heard about it, I was skeptical, obviously, because indie movies, you never really know. And a furry movie, you never how those can go these days. He goes on to say, co-director and writer Michael Swain reassured me that Papa Bear comes from real experience and consulting community members. Then I read the script and loved it. It dives into furriness without wasting time on setup, but familiarizes it with awkward comedy that anyone can relate to. It doesn't fall into lame campiness, and the characters have personalities. Tense subplots come up right away. The tension comes from being put on the spot about private life and inside views of quote-unquote content warning topics. So it sounds like a really, really good movie. So on the crowd fund incentive, actually start with a private link to watch the movie as soon as it's ready. So any fur out there that has actually subscribed and given money to the crowd fund should in the near future have a private viewing link. So by the deadline, so that's June 16th, Papa Bear had over $65,370 in pledge, which reached their goal of, I think it was 65,000. So that's really great.
That's great.
Lots of support for the show. Sounds really awesome. Really good, sounding like good tribute to furry. Put us in a good light. I'm really excited to see this movie. So definitely be on the watch out for that in the future. And if it comes out and I watch it, I will do a review on the show about it. So that's my furries in the news.
So I have to ask a quick question. Is this the same movie we talked about several episodes ago? I thought the name of that movie was A Furry in the Family.
It was a furry in the family. No, this is not that. Oh.
So this
So
is
this
a
is
different movie.
A different movie.
This
So
is-
two furry-centric
two?
movies.
Oh,
Nice.
I was wrong. No, that's really exciting. I'm glad you mentioned that because now I'm really more excited.
They
So
just
I'm gonna
won't be
have to
shown
write
in Florida.
No. Because be rated
Furry in-
NC-17 in Florida.
Because Florida.
So, yes, because Florida.
Okay, good.
There you go.
There
So,
you
all
go, there
right.
you go.
That's nice. The two Two furry-centric
nice
movies are
furries
coming out.
I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Very awesome.
Awesome. All right.
Hopefully they'll have the same, the opposite effect of the CSI episode, and maybe give us a little bit of
Yes.
Fur
Of a
and
good
furry or
feel-good
whatever that
thing,
was
yeah.
called. Yeah, that
the
good-
fur and loathing.
yes.
fur and loathing. Yes, that's right.
Yes. Right. All right. Well, let's get to some upcoming events, and we should. You better buckle up, Buttercup, because we have a lot of events.
We do.
We do indeed.
I'm
Now-
going to go fill my puppy dish for this
Okay.
excitement. So you can
All
start
right.
now. Be right back
Okay.
for the excitement.
Make it snappy, Happy Pappy.
That I never heard. Okay, I will.
Okay. Okay, so coming up this weekend, actually occurring this weekend as we are releasing this episode, June 29th through July 2nd, is Anthrocon 2023, which I hear they have a record registration at this point. So hopefully they will have a really good time there in Pittsburgh. If you're in Pittsburgh and you're listening to us, thanks for listening, and write in and tell us how things are going. Also, this same weekend, June 30th through July 2nd, in Theatre Delhi, I guess you can get a sandwich there in London, UK, is Pride Unbound. Starting the 1st of July, which is actually a Saturday, and going through to the 8th of July, so 7 days, is Lakeside Furs 2023 in Austria. And I'm going to try and say the name of their place they're at. They're at the Chalet Berber Blick Zillertal Arena in Wald im Pinzgau. Wow, that was tough to say.
Yeah, you did better than I did last time.
Okay. July 6th through the 9th in Edmonton, Alberta is Fur A 2023. And our good friend of the pod, what's her name? Cassidy Sivet. I should know Cassidy Sivet is going to be there. Also, the weekend of 7th through the 10th July in Muldersdrift, Lanseria, South Africa at the Valverde Eco Hotel is South Afrifur 2023. The July 14th through the 16th, we have 2 cons going on. We have one in Layton, Utah at the Davis Conference Center. That's Anthro Weekend, Utah.
Oh, there's
and
a
we
lot.
also have Furway at the Einsjern Hitturn in Brandy, Norway. And then the next weekend, July 21st to the 22nd, we have a canceled FurCon in Great Bend. So don't go there. Kansas FurCon has been canceled. Don't go to it. It won't be there. You'll
Well,
be
they
very
could
bored.
go, but they'd be
You'd be
very
very
bored.
bored,
Like you
yes.
said, they'd be very bored.
And there'd be no events going on. But also, you can get to Australia if you want and go to Fur Out West at the Atrium Hotel in Mandurah. And then we're coming up into August. So let's talk about some August events.
Let's do
We
it.
have Reference. I love that name. In Antwerp, Belgium. That's August 3
I like
through
the
the 6th.
reference to it.
We have Canference in Canada, Ottawa, August 4th through the 6th. Also that same weekend, we have Texas Furry Siesta, not Texas Furry Fiesta. There's a different event. This is the Siesta, the 4th through the 6th of August at the Hyatt Regency in Dallas. Then on the 11th through the 13th, you can go to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And there's a lot of Canadian conferences coming up here in the summer. We have the Wild Prairie Fur Con. And now, without further ado, August 18th to the 20th, we have Denfur coming up in Denver, Colorado. Taebyn, I understand you're going to make an appearance there.
I am. I'm excited. This will be this pup's Denver. I hear it's a really good con. I've wanted to actually go since it started, 2019, 2018? You know, it's been around a few years, but I'm really excited about going and seeing how it goes. And I'll definitely talk about it on the show after I go. Of course, that's a few months away. But yeah, should be good, exciting, fun times. Might
Is
go see
Tatsu
the
going
Rockies.
with you?
He is. My hubby Tatsu's going with me. We're actually going to take a little bit of a trip before Pa to see the Rockies because this pup has never seen the Rockies, so I'd like to run around with Posies in the Rockies, and that'll be very cool. I've seen pictures, and it looks very pretty, and my honey's been there before. I think he's been there before. Anyway, and says it's really pretty, so should be a good trip.
Well, somebody has got to take care of him. Yeah.
Somebody's got to take care of the puppy. He can't go to a con alone.
No.
That
would be a disaster.
At Furlandia, I remember this year. So Rain was there with me at Furlandia, and of course my honey was too. And we were talking to Gene Armstrong. Like the previous night, apparently there was a lot of ruckus, and I was being blamed for it. And Gene is like, so were you not with him? Talking to my honey. It's like, no, I'd gone to bed. And then he says to Rain, were you with him? And like Rain says, no, I went to bed too. It's like, you mean you left him alone? He's a puppy. Gene said that. So
yes. Well, in my defense, I asked Taebyn, are you all right? Because we were pretty tired from all the dancing. And
there's a lot
not
of dancing.
Imbibing in alcohol or anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I said, are you all right to go back to the room by yourself? Because we're on the same floor. He's only, a short distance away. He's like, I've got it. And apparently he was very loud about getting it.
Okay.
A pilot yelled at him.
A pilot.
Yes.
Well, a pilot didn't yell at me per se.
He was very pontious.
A pilot yelled at somebody who they thought was Taebyn.
Oh.
Well. I actually don't know. So, Gene said that he heard that a pilot complained and they were blaming me. And we don't know that. I mean, we don't have any idea that they actually know it's me. So I would like to go on record by saying it wasn't me. I am a pup, and that might happen because Ruckus was getting at, but I don't think it was me.
All right. Okay, so continuing on, we still have a few more events to cover. The same weekend, August 19th to the 22nd in Slovenia is Slow Fluff Con.
Slow Fluff Con. The fluff just goes slowly by.
Like a slow gen fizz, but
that's right.
Fluff.
But that's Slow Fluff because of Slovenia. That's what that is. And then you can go to another Canada event, Camp Arrowhon in Algonquin Park, Ontario. We have the Camp Feral 2023, August 24th through 28th. If you can't get to that, you can go to Indy FurCon in Indianapolis, Indiana, 24th through 28th of August. And also the 25th through the 27th. In between, you have Furrydelphia at the Sheridan, Philadelphia, PA.
I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I love how I'm doing my things, and both Rain and Barely are just they keep going on, and I'm like, and so in Slovenia, you have it in Canada.
Yeah, well, if we didn't, things would never get completed. We'd have a 4-hour podcast if we
don't
didn't
want
do that. No, we don't want that.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
All right, which takes us up to a second week in a row of math. This is unheard of. This is unprecedented. Actually, we are in uncharted waters.
This is my fault.
Actually, this is our third week in a row because we had one.
Third. Oh, we are totally in so uncharted waters. There is not even an ocean.
There's not even an ocean. There's not any rails. The rails are rusted from the oceans that they've been under.
And I sent him more math stuff last night, so there's probably going to be another one eventually.
Okie dokie.
Oh, you did?
Well, in a couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, the Adam Savage.
Oh, yes. Oh, I did. You did.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
No.
It's related to Klein bottles, and it's really good.
Yes, it is.
Well, I have to ask you, are we talking about some zeros or zero sums today?
Zero-sum games.
Zero sums.
Okay, well, let's hear all about a zero-sum game.
So, yes, thank you. Last week we talked about game theory, the study of math, which is the study of mathematical models of strategic interactions among entities that aim to perform optimal actions. That is, game theory is looking at a branch of math that looks at models of things that have a certain set of rules and looking at mathematically the strategies to win them.
Stratagem.
So this week we continue to talk about a particular sub-branch of game theory, talking about things called zero-sum games. Again, thanks to Rain Raccoon for the request. If you're interested in generally what game theory is and some examples, listen to last week's episode. So I won't go over game theory again. I'll start talking about zero-sum games. So Sumfer asked me, what is a zero-sum game?
What's a zero-sum game, Taebyn?
I'm so glad you asked. So a zero-sum game is a situation in which one person's gain is equivalent to another person's loss, so that the net change in wealth or benefit is zero. That is, the sum of each outcome is always zero. So there could be any number of players, at least 2 players. A lot of these have to do with just 2 players, but you can have any number. There's this thing called a payoff matrix. It's a grid that represents the amount of winnings and losses per round of the game. For example, would you like an example?
Yes.
I have 2 examples, but I'll start with one example. The first example is rock, paper, scissors is actually a zero-sum game. And the payoff matrix goes like this. I thought, I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to try and describe the payoff matrix. So what would help is if you had paper and a pencil or pen. Now you first get a paper, pencil, pen. This is actually really interesting stuff, I think. So yeah, Dev, follow along with us, you furs.
Okay.
Barely's doing a thing where he makes that, you hold it in your muzz.
Oh,
yeah,
I see
that's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
So make
very
a 3x3 grid where the left column reads down, make a 3x3 grid and label the first row rock, the second row paper, and the third row scissors.
Okay.
So obviously first row represent rock, paper. Okay. And then then label that whole side player 1. Now, the first column, designate that as rock, the second column as paper, and the third column as scissors.
Okay.
And label that's player 2, represents player 2.
Okie doke.
Okay. Now, so we'll just say that if you win, you get a 1. If you lose, you get a -1. If it's a tie, you get a 0. So what would you think would go in that first top left corner, the one that represents rock and rock for player 1 and player 2?
That means that both player 1 and player 2 threw rock.
That's
Yes.
a loss, so that's a 0.
So
it's a 0.
It's a tie, so it's a 0. Yes.
Tie. Okay.
And so then the next column over, you have player 1 has a rock, player 2 has paper. What number would you put in there?
Player 1 has rock. That would be a 1 point for player 2, right? Because paper covers rock.
Yes. So we need to designate that either a 1 or -1. We'll just say, just to make a convention, we'll say that this whole grid represents player 1. So then in that case, we would put a -1 in that spot because rock loses to paper.
Right.
And player 1 has the rock. So then go next column over. What would that 1,3 that is the rock for player 1 and scissors for player 2, what number would go in there?
That would be a 1 because rock smashes scissors.
Right. And player 1 then won that 1. Ha.
Yes.
So if you continue in this way, in the next row, reading from left to right, you would have a 1, 0, -1. The -1 would be paper and scissors because paper loses to scissors. And in the third row, you would have -1, 1, 0.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, I mean, so it's a great way to kind of mathematically represent winnings and losses in the game of rock, paper, scissors. And you can do this for lots of different games, just a way to mathematically represent how things go. And notice it's a zero-sum game because if you add up all the numbers, you get 0. So
You get 0.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It's like tic-tac-toe.
So I have
It
to
is.
ask this question.
Zero-sum game.
If you had 5 columns and 5 rows and you did rock, paper, lizard, Spock, I wonder if that would be a zero-sum game.
It might be. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a very good chance it could.
Yeah, I forgot the rules to rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, but it is
Oh,
more complex.
There's a T-shirt that has all the rules on
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
we can.
It's a Big Bang Theory.
It is.
Thing.
Yes,
Yes.
it
That was
is.
Sheldon. Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
lizard, Spock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So indeed, if once you know the rules, you could on your own fill out this grid and then add up all the numbers and see if you have a zero-sum game or not. And so a
might
good,
have to do that.
nice way of mathematically representing. It's a lot of fun actually, just to do that.
Yeah.
And there's more I can say about this kind of stuff. Would you like me to say more about this stuff? Because it's interesting and fun.
We would like to hear more.
Okay.
Would you like to know more?
There is
I
more.
was just thinking Starship Troopers.
Star Troopers. Do you want to know more?
So I'll continue with my next example. Let me just tell you what the sometimes games can be represented by just giving the playoff matrix. So let me just give you the playoff matrix, the payoff matrix. So write this down. It's
The playoff matrix is totally different.
It's a totally different thing. It's a 2x3 grid now, where the on the top, the columns are represented by the first column is A, the second column is B, the third column is C.
Okay.
Then the rows, just label them 1 and 2. And then the players are red and blue. So the left-hand side, the rows will represent the red, and then the columns are the blue player.
Okay.
And then again, just because we need the consistency, we'll say that this matrix will represent the payoff for the red, and that would mean that the blue gets the negative of it, just like with the rock, paper, scissors. So now the numbers are on the first row, going left to right, you have 30, -10, and 20.
Okay.
And then the second row, you have -10, 20, and -20.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not a zero sum.
So, I will say something about this in a minute. If you add up, exactly like you just did, if you add up all the numbers, you don't get 0. You get what you get. You get
30 and 40.
Yeah.
Or
70.
Or see 30.
Yeah.
Wait, -20. So 0, 0, 30. You get, if you add them all up, you get 30. Not a zero-sum game. But if you think of it in terms of, let me tell you how this game works in this case. The red player secretly picks either a 1 or 2 without the blue player knowing. You can think of 1 and 2 as actions or strategies. And this is in game theory common to how you think about these things. You think of these as strategies or actions. So the red player picks either the strategy 1 or 2. Then the blue player secretly picks either, and they both can see the payoff matrix. So they all know all these numbers. The blue player picks either A, B, or C. Okay, so once they've picked, you reveal what strategy each have used, and then you go to that box to find out what the payoff is. So for example, if red chooses 2, so that's the second row, and if blue chooses B, so that's the second column, then you go to, that's 20 in that box, the 2B box. So that would mean that red, remember this table is from red's, like we have to, from red. So that means red would gain 20 and blue would lose $20 or whatever you want to say. In that sense, it's a zero-sum game because one has gained 20 and the other has lost 20. So it's 0 for that round.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Now, so in game theory, you want to know, is there a winning strategy? Sure, they all, like each round sums to 0, but based on, like red could accumulate more as you go on, maybe you get 20, then 30, then stuff, even though blue is like, it's all equaling out each round. And so you want to know, is there a winning strategy? You don't know what the other person is going to pick. After a certain number of rounds, can you win? And, you might think in the end, maybe not, because like eventually maybe you all get 0 or I don't know. So mathematicians Emil Borel and John von Neumann, famous mathematicians, had insight that each round don't have a definitive action to take, but instead choose which action you take based on probability. So for example, one round, like you flip a 7-sided coin or something, and then you pick that based on that. Anyway, now it turns out that this is a very good thing to do because there's an algebraic method of optimization called linear programming. So you can use math to actually do this. For example, if you do this method, which I won't bore you talk about how this method works, but if you use this math thing, it turns out that if red chooses the action 1 with probability 4/7, and then action 2 with probability 3/7, and then blue chooses the other actions with probability 0, 4/7, and 3/7, then red will actually win 2.85 points per game. So you can actually mathematically, like without knowing what the other person's going to pick, there's still math that can help you lead to a winning strategy, which is really interesting. A 0, so kind of going back to the whole idea about how in this particular case, everything added up to 30, not 0. A zero-sum game is just an example of a constant sum game. A constant sum game is just one in which the game always has some constant number. So in this, a zero-sum game is you always have a sum of 0, but you might have every round the sum is always 2 or 5 or 50, whatever. That's called a constant sum game. It turns out that any constant sum game can easily actually be turned into a zero-sum game. And so that's why you usually only hear about a zero-sum game, not a constant sum game, because you can always assume you're talking about a zero-sum game. So this is all very, very interesting and cool. These strategies can, however, be applied to, and they are applied to real-life situations, such as economics, financial markets, and traffic flow even. So game theory is really, really useful for studying lots of things, and it's also very interesting and fun just to like write out these matrices and play around with the numbers that turn up and how it works. So there is my talkings of zero-sum games for the week.
Very cool.
Well,
thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was very, so again, thank you, Rain, for that. A lot of this I didn't know, and it turns out it's very, very interesting indeed.
Awesome
I'm
possum.
glad to be of assistance.
Well, look at that. Well, my friends, I think we've taken up enough of our listeners' time. That one listener is probably
ready to move on with their life.
Ready to move on to another podcast that's not ours. So, oh boy, Alberta, we have wasted just about enough time on our listeners. Thanks for lilistening, and remember to tell your friends. Oh boy, Alberta, you've never heard that ad?
I have not heard that.
Oh boy, Alberta meats.
It's an ad for turkey jerky, Alberta turkey jerky. Oh boy, Alberta.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Speaking of, because we talked about Sweden, one of the popular chocolate mixes for hot cocoa in Sweden is called Oh Boy.
Oh boy.
Yes. Indeed.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh joy. That's my Lou toy. So remember, thanks for listening. Tell your friends, or better yet, tell your enemies about the show.
Yeah,
we love you
please.
all for listening. Merch, of course, is always available at Redbubble, Bonfire, or Fourth Wall, and you can follow us on Telegram and social media. You can help support the show through donations at Patreon or Ko-Fi. You can also help support us through subscribing to the podcast and on Buzzsprout. You don't have to. It's totally voluntary. You can still listen to the podcast without subscribing. But all donations, no matter how small, help us to keep the lights on and keep coming to you through the wonder of the magic of the internet. So until next time, on behalf of myself at Injured Nerves Productions, it's been a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you for attending. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It's been great. We're not going to have any more episodes. We're closing down the shop, and everything is going forward. No, we're not. I'm lying. I'm lying.
I'm like, wait a minute.
What?
It's like, yeah, it's a secret.
I'm out of a
It's
job?
secret.
What's going on?
Right? Yes.
Already?
So, Moobarkfluff and stay furry. Any parting words, Mr. Raccoon, before Taebyn takes us out of here?
I just want to say thank you, everyone, for listening, and stay furry, Moobarkfluff.
And then I have to say, again, shout out to Rain to his DJ set. He is every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m.
7 to 8
Pacific
p.m.
time?
Pacific. And this week, this week will be Divas of Pride. So I'm
Divas
doing
of
all divas.
On Mixcloud, where can we find you again?
Mixcloud/Rain DJ Rain Raccoon.
Very good, very good.
Awesome.
Yes, very, very good seat so far. So while you first take a listen. And on that note, speaking of taking things, I will take you out of here by saying thank you so much for joining us on the show and everything like that. It means a lot to us. It really does. And we have a lot of fun. I mean, I hope so. I mean, we've been doing this for a little more than, 3-4 years now? How long have we been doing this?
A long time.
Been doing this a long time. I hope we do it because we like it, because holy cow, if not, I worry about us. I kind of worry about us anyway. But in any case, until next week when we get to bark at you again, I won't be here. Barely and Rain will be here. But they can't wait to bark at you again. I can't wait to bark at you again in 3 weeks. And so until then, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good siesta. And we'll talk at you next time. Moobarkfluff, stay furry.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate editor Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free is library. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.